After 3 years and 3 full seasons of action, the title of world champion is finally back on the line. Over the next 2 weeks, 24 teams from 18 countries will play this great game, but only one will become world champion. Welcome to the Rocket League World Championship, coming to you live from Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, Texas. I'm Wave Punk. I'll be your host, your guide for the entire action of this 2-week extravaganza. It all begins here in the bowels of the arena for our Wildcard play-in. 16 teams will play on this stage, battling for the chance to ascend to the bowl of 13,000 fans next week. Let's beat the teams playing in the Wildcard.
Can you feel it? That sense of inevitability that these World Championships will just hit different. Even with $2 million plus bucks on the line, Dallas still has plenty to live up to.
This season though, Worlds is a little different. The 8 teams that have gained enough points to auto-qualify for the group stage can hit the virtual gym, while 16 wildcards tear each other to shreds for our amusement. Let's have a look to see how they made it this far.
Bravado Gaming. While Sub-Saharan Africa recently tasted its first international competition at Gamers 8, Bravado were not the ones representing them. They come to Worlds second in charge at the South African fish pond, but on the back of 2 regional wins to round out the season. With SSA MVP to die for on side, will the region's second biggest fish flourish against international competition?
Gaming Gladiators. Gaming Gladiators put Asia Pacific South on the map. It took the region 3 attempts to reach a major, but once they did, they showed their mettle before running out of steam.
Have you on the list? You couldn't ask, just get big. And Gladiators.
It wasn't until Spring's edition of Indian player Abs Crazy that Maxu and APAC MVP LCT found their final form. Since then, these powerful warriors have gone from strength to strength.
No, he just glides off the backboard. I don't even think my man drove on the backboard.
Orlando Pirates XD. Turns out these guys are no pushovers.
Just to get on the side and then goes up and flips upside down.
Back home, they forced their opponents to walk the plank. Taking 6 of the 9 SSA regionals. But losing those final events to Bravado will have sent the captain of this ship, back to the drawing board. Perhaps, a change of tactics will traverse these international waters. Oh my goodness, I am so sorry.
O1 Esports. Falcons Ahmad promised O1 Esports he'd bank enough points at the Spring Major to earn a 3rd Middle Eastern World spot. And as G2 learned at Game 3 0 seconds at the Fall Major, Ahmad always delivers. O1 admit they had a poor spring, but recent main stage LAN experience at Gamers 8, beating Dignitas by the way, no less, and that little bit of help from Falcons will be all the inspiration they need to perform in Dallas.
Veloce Esports. Latest recruit Senzo brings the experience. After the full major super sub and will he won't he serial retiree joined Twiz and SMW at the start of spring. He and Twiz have recent LAN experience at Gamers 8. Experience they'll bring here as Mina's second team. No Falcons favour needed for their qualification. Yeah, take that, O1 Esports.
The Club. It all began so well for the clubs at Astromic, winning South America's second Fall Regional and squeaking into the Fall Major by a solitary point.
Oh, clear down. K-Dot thought he'd save the day with the demo, and then out of nowhere, Snip is going to fight.
After losing Math, they somewhat rallied, but failed to make another major. But their consistency has brought them here on merit, so underestimate them at your peril.
Of all of Vitality.
Optic Gaming. The recently rebranded Team Envy have had a strange old season. Going into full among the NA favourites, it didn't quite work out.
Go on! Oh, it's on the pool! Oh, G2 got the lead!
Forced to straight swap Atomic for young G2 genius Drees, it didn't quite work out.
Drees can keep it alive, but nobody else can, and Oxygen survives Champions Field!
Coach Alushin then bumped Turbo to the subs bench, and what do you know, things finally worked out.
Oh my goodness! And another European team meets its endpoint!
finally settled, the Green Wall will build on solid top 8 Spring Major foundations when they get to Dallas.
Semper Esports. Dependable old Semper shot to life in the Fall Major, taking down Dignitas in Stockholm's quarterfinals.
To see the ball down, and it into him.
But Starman Archie's spring move threw an English-speaking spanner in the works. Cue Exotic.
Just put it in the danger zone where both Chazette and Exotic could shoot it.
Now with fully French comms, Semper, who qualified by just 30 points, can grind out a win against anyone.
Team Secret. Whispering, but the Spring Major showcased secret star power.
Now they're threatening their very country upon the Frenchmen.
They've played Sam's second fiddle to Furia all season, and there's no shame in that. But consistent second places in Spring showed that BDS blitzing was no bolt from the blue.
Tokyo Verdy Esports. Once APAC's terrifyingest export, Tokyo Verdy are led by Japan's famousest player, Realize. The former freestyler led Tenhao and Maru to their inaugural international, the Fall Major. But with Sigums now in for the latter, Asia Pacific is packed with more proficiency than ever. Embroiled in a battle on two fronts, Verdy have fought Detonator for APAC North and Gaming Gladiators for APAC as a whole. Here, they can put regional pride aside and fight for their first RLCS win on international soil.
Space Station Gaming. It began with heartbreak. Game 7 against Complexity, loser misses the Full Major.
Complexity advance!
Then it got worse. Sypical, once among the world's best, moved to FaZe Clan. And all they could replace him with was some 15-year-old who couldn't even come up with a proper username.
He's done it again! The young prodigy!
Alright, fair enough. Daniel's pretty good. But one recent lapse in comms will haunt SSG's dreams. Now they're here to make amends. One demolition derby at a time.
Carmine Corp. If Nolly's ratio skills are anything to go by, Carmine's French fans are out there in their billions. It was the Liverpudlian himself who gave those fans hope, as before he joined in Spring, no one believed in them.
Carmine Corp are going to make worlds.
Not a single soul.
In fact, they're over 500 points away.
Top 8, top 6, and then third in the online regionals gave them the confidence for a top 4 finish at the Spring Major. And it could have been even more.
Beast mode towards net! Beast mode! A thriller at the copper box!
With Nolly peaking and Astral and Itachi reborn as mechanical messiahs, KC's instinctive urge to fly in the face of any haters could spark yet another deep run.
Pioneers. 3 Oceanic teams had just 40 points between them at season's end, and after this devastating London Major BDS blowout, Pioneers are your OCE second seeds. After missing the Full Major, Super Lucky, Scrub, no, not that one, and Banana Head, yes, that one, and that's MVP Banana Head to you, reached the Winter and Spring Majors as the region's top seeds. The great end to the season was only enough for second OCE seed overall, something they'll be desperate to prove wrong in Dallas.
Renegades. Renegades won the overall OCE race by just 11 points over Pioneers, with absence at the Spring Major making Wally Champs quali nervier than they would have liked, mate. CJ and Kami support one of the most mechanical players in the region, Fever, as they all try and shock their way to the group stage.
Over to the help that he's got. Fever! Fever! Unreal, my friend!
A pair of 3-0 wins over recent Gamers 8 winners Furia show these fun lovers still have plenty of upset potential.
Dignitas. Beware the wounded animal. The Full Major near favourites crashed out to Semper in the quarterfinals, and their winter defeats were more painful yet.
Without touching the floor, it's going to take a hard pinch. Apparently,
Exactly what was going wrong there. Jump speed is there, but Rizek, he hits the game-winning shot.
Failure to even qualify for Landon 2.0 will have hurt them far more than any one reverse sweep. if they can convert that agony into inspiration, Dignitas could be back to their pre-winter best, just in time for the biggest tournament of all.
Version 1. Most teams are just glad to be here, but Version 1, they're nothing of the sort. The team haven't finished lower than 6th at LAN since bringing in Beast Mode, and they will rue the fact there isn't at least one last split to pull away from the NA pack. Still, the team that knocked Rise, Joyo and Vatira to the lower bracket in both recent majors should make short work of this Swiss. And with the crowd filling up over the course of the 10 days of championships, their brutal vocality will surely disrupt their opponents.
The pressure of the largest event in Rocket League history can make anyone a shadow or a giant of their true selves.
Let the World Championship Wildcard begin.
Let it begin indeed. Here we are, and it's finally time to get some Rocket League gameplay going in Dickey's Arena, Fort Worth, Texas. I am Wave Punk. I got a desk of wonderful people here with me. I got Bates, I got Johnny, I got Stumpy. We're back in Texas. We're my hometown, by the way. I haven't mentioned that up until now.
It's a great place. I've had such a good time. We started off with an amazing video, amazing voice work, across the board.
Okay.
Well written.
Right.
It was just, what a way to start off the World Championship.
It's nice. I like that you can walk in Fort Worth. Got to give it to you, Waypunk. Usually we come out to America, we're sitting in cars, inside buildings. Yeah, but I love that you can walk around here. I'm being nice. I love it.
The pedestrian areas, there's lovely red bricks everywhere.
Yeah.
The buildings are old and new. It's brilliant.
Thank you. It means a lot to me. It's a wonderful place, and it's the home to the Rocket League World Championship, the longest event, the longest we've gone since having a World Championship, and also the largest Rocket League competition that has ever happened by 7 days or something, Bates. This is unprecedented for us.
Man, it's long. It's got the most prize pool. The last World Championship, none of us were even here. All through, and all of a sudden you got an entirely new desk at the moment joining you. World Championship. I'm glad to be here. Woo! It's gonna be a good time.
I'm so glad to have you. You can hear some fans. I don't know if you guys at home can hear them, but we got a small crowd gathering here.
They're coming in.
Starting to trickle in here, getting woken up. There's snacks. There's concessions. There's wonderful gameplay that's about to happen here.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be starting it off with some awesome games. We're going to be seeing some new regions competing in front of a crowd for the first time. Got all the fans out there. This stage, it's reminiscent, of what we've had in LANs past, at DreamHacks previously.
Yeah.
And this is the small bit. This is where we start off, and then we move, I think, over there somewhere, and it gets massiver.
We were talking about this, Johnny, that we were looking at the stage, we're this feels kind of small for us now. This is bigger than the first World Championship.
It is, yeah.
Is it really?
It is, yeah. The first World Championship, I think, was probably similar to this.
It was a smaller stage.
Wildcard in size, yeah.
It's crazy, and this is just the prequel. What is coming later? You're not going to want to leave over the course of the next 2 weeks of action. And how's this action going to go down? There's a lot of gameplay to happen here, Johnny. Let's walk through the format of the World Championship.
Yeah, luckily we've had a little bit of help throughout the year with understanding each of these formats. It starts off with Swiss, which, if you remember back to the Fall Major, was the regional format and the major format for the first stage of the event. Now, the wildcard is going to take that, and we've got 16 teams in the wildcard. You can see them on the left there if you've got very good eyesight. We'll go more in detail on them in a bit. 8 of those teams are going to be making it to the main event. 8 of them are going to be eliminated. No eliminations until day 3, so we're looking at day 1 matchups. On the left, day 2 will be the second row there, and then we're going to be day 3 middle, and the rest played out on day 4.
And if you've never seen a Swiss before, if you win 3 matches, you qualify. That's what those 8 spots at the top in green are. The 8 spots in the bottom in red are the teams that are eliminated. So as long as you win, you face off against teams, or whatever, however your results go, you face off against a team with your same record.
Exactly.
So if you're struggling, you're facing off against other teams that are struggling. If you're doing well, you're facing off against other teams that are doing well. We'll see 2 teams here, Stumpy, qualify 3-0.
Yeah, 2 teams are going to be going through very confidently. We saw back in the previous time we saw Swiss. Dignitas famously got through with that 3-0 position, but that doesn't guarantee that you're going to be in the best spot going forward, because we don't go straight through to a little bracket. We go through into some groups.
We go into the groups, and this is what is being played in the arena, Bates. This is where we're going to see the fans and the teams that qualified already.
Yep, in group, my bracket's already busted, Johnny's bracket's busted, everybody's bracket's busted, because these groups are completely different from what we were expecting. You got Moist, Endpoint, BDS, and NRG rounding out Group A. It's going to be actually incredible competition there. Nobody's seen NRG in a minute. BDS have been looking shaky as of late. And then you got the champs, the most recent champs, Moy sitting up top. I know they're probably loving this group right now.
This is group of life, easily.
The group of life.
When you see the other one, the other group is clearly the group of death. We've got G2, Furia, FaZe, and Falcons. I think this is the group of death. Also, WC1, that means Wildcard 1. Whoever tops the Wildcard is also going to be in this group.
And that could potentially be a V1, a K-Core.
Yeah.
This is, as is tradition here in Rocket League, or in most competitions, if you win, you get harder matches. So congratulations.
But you also get more money.
You get more money.
So you're in a pretty good spot.
These guys like playing Rocket League, so you get to play Furia if you win the wild card.
I can hear people now, though, if they put NRG in a group of life just to make sure they make champions.
Yeah, BDS as well. The BDS regain.
The defending champs and the strongest team from RLCSX. But we'll see what happens with them there. Everyone's trying, though, to get to Championship Sunday to be one of the 8 teams with a chance to hoist the trophy for the first time in 3 years. It is a single elimination bracket.
Terrifying.
One day as well. This is all on the very last day of the World Championship, which is going to be wild. Because 8 teams starting off the final day of the competition. They've all got a realistic shot of making it to the final and winning that final because it's all happening on one day.
You could have to play 21 games back-to-back for the chance to hoist the trophy.
Fully best of 7. You know, we've got this bracket. It's single elim. There are no second chances. We're not looking down, okay, you know what, we lose one, we can reset it, whatever. No. Win, and that is the deserved winner going through all of these stages. This is the hardest World Championship we've ever had. It's for the most money. It's for the most teams, the most regions. It is the biggest event we've ever had in Rocket League. And whoever wins that, at the end on the right-hand side, they are the champs.
It's biggest in every way, shape, and form. Let's take a look at how much money is on the line. 600K going to first place here.
That's 200 each. Look at that for the first and the second. You're not doing too bad either. I mean, it's like one best of 7. If you make the last day of the competition, you've got 100. You play a quarterfinal for another 100. Then you play semi for 200. You play final for another 200. That's like you could go 500,000 more in one day.
The money match.
Crazy.
That is crazy.
If you don't win a single game, you still get 20 grand.
Just for showing up.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, can someone at home do the math on how many first place prize pools from like seasons 1, 2, and 3 first place prize pool is here? I'd just love to know if you can tell me at home. Folks, this is going to be a crazy event, and we're just getting started with day 1 here. Everything best of 7s the whole way as well. No, we're playing the marathons from the beginning. You say you're the best teams in Rocket League, you got to prove it here. Let's take a look at the teams playing in the wild card. We talked a little bit about the main event teams. We'll talk about them later. They don't get to play for another week. These teams here, these 16 baits, are the teams we're going to see today.
Right, EU and A, of course, they had to balance out 3-3, but SSA finally playing on RLCS land, more media representation, APAC here, OCE Sam. It's going to be absolutely incredible to see how the regions, how Rocket League gets grown as a global esport, not just NA EU. I know Johnny's going to harp on that a little bit.
Oh, of course, with Mina's recent success, Sam's recent success, but more chances for teams further down the rankings to prove that they're here. This is the first time we've had 3 South American teams at a World Championship instead of 2. First time we've had 2 Mina teams at a major, at a LAN instead of 1. These teams are here to prove that it's not just Fury, it's not